Pas de soleil, 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 pas de soleil.
I honestly can't tell which is worse, the pathetic attempt at faking a mental illness or the pathetic attempt at lip-syncing the song. Hey Girl Scout, what's shakin'? How have you been? I've personally been hauling ass across the ocean to my new flat and shoving Q-tips up my nose so the government gives me permission to leave the house. As you do. And it's safe to say I'm ready for some of that sweet, sweet cringe fuel once again. I got a lot of positive feedback on my last video, so I figured what better way to get back into the swing of things than with another deep dive into the fake disorder cringe sub. Lucky for us, content has been piling up over the past month and a half, and like the martyr I am, I handpicked through all of the torture to offer you only the worst of the worst. I know. Feel free to show your support by tossing me a like and a sub. It's the least you could do, really. Anyways, enough of the chit chat and more of what you're all here for. Let's just jump right into things and boost our egos, shall we?
Giving yourself up.
For any of you saying animal alters aren't real, you just grow up. One of mine happens to be a cannibal pig named Peppa who only eats bacon. My pronouns are oink and oink self, and I enjoy rolling in my own shit. Seriously though, what is this? Go ahead and pretend to be a puppy all you want. I've seen it making some people massively rich to roleplay it, but don't act like this is some trauma response that caused your personality to split and form a literal animal. What dog is so self-aware that they go and put on little animal ears and start recording a video for TikTok? Dogs don't even have thumbs. I smell BS and someone in desperate need of their parents to walk in on them doing this and tell them off. Parents, if your child has short, colorful hair, owns animal ears, and seems to secretly record themselves when they think you aren't looking, you might just have yourself a fake disorder cringe kid. It looks bad, and it is, but fear not, because one look at your It's Not a Phase Mom teenage photos and a bit of education on the dire reality of living with a mental illness, and they should be well on their way to becoming functioning members of society. That, or they might rebel against you and become writers for BuzzFeed, but at least they'll be able to afford to move out of your basement so you can pretend they don't exist. Worst case is they'll become a commentary YouTuber, and from personal experience, I can assure you they'll be just as disappointed in themselves as you are of them, if it's any consolation. If you think this is cringy and annoying, wait till you see what happens when someone tries to troll them and ask a completely valid question that I all know you're wondering yourselves.
I don't care if this was supposed to be a genuine question. This is full of ignorance. First of all, I am not a dog. We have a non-human alter in our system. He is a child. No, please stop sexualizing our alters.
Blatant hypocrisy. We love to see it. Nothing screams I got caught in a lie than becoming angry and defensive at someone for trying to play your game and beating you at it. Look, all they wanted to know is if you'd raw dog, pun intended, a pit bull or a chihuahua. If you truly believe your alter is a dog, surely this is a question you'd have no problem answering as a way to destigmatize the idea of a non-human alter, no? This could even be interpreted as only being attracted to other people who identify as a dog if you really wanted to humor the situation or try and defend yourself. Clearly the idea of being attracted to someone like themselves is repulsive to them, and they have to point the finger at someone else instead of admit that this pretend DID is all the result of being at the age where you begin to form an identity and they just so happen to despise the person they currently are. Been there, done that, and I can assure you that you'll grow out of it and begin to appreciate your personality and quirks once you get over this time of your life. Unless, of course, you're forced to relive it forever because you posted this cringe phase to the internet for millions of people to make fun of and remember every time they look at you. Oops, better start damage control ASAP, my dude. It's not too late to hide the evidence. This next one is so unbelievably ridiculous that you'd think there's no way this is serious, but I'm 99% sure it is. I'm holding on to that 1% chance it's not, though, because that would mean this person is a god-tier shitposter. Meet the South Park alters.
Giving yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you.
So much to unpack here. Let's talk about that range of acting. Honestly, they didn't even need to put the characters' names in there, and I'd know from the perfect differentiation and deep emotive expressions that represent each character. If you're gonna fake being some characters from a popular show, at least try to match their in-depth personalities instead of being yourself for a whole minute and making us sit through it. What even is this? Does this person not realize that the supposed alter would be the one moving their hand and touching their own face? Why act so shocked as though they aren't doing this to themselves? Are teens, really believing this shit? Imagine trying to tickle yourself or something and recording how you'd react to it. You'd expect it to happen and probably not react at all. And how is this any different? Also, out of all the shows, why South Park? I'm pretty sure they've made episodes mocking people who fake mental illnesses like Tourette's, so you're literally one of the people they shit on. At least pick something fun and believable like SpongeBob. I could totally see Patrick freak out when he touches his own face because of how stupid he is. And yes, there is a part 2 with even more South Park characters, and also yes, it is just as insufferable to watch. This stuff is extremely toxic. Watch this next one and see how problematic it's all becoming.
Giving yourself up.
First of all, using the term singlet as a slur to someone without DID is incredibly dangerous because it teaches kids that it's bad to not have DID and that people with DID are somehow superior and get to talk down to people without it. To alienate kids who don't suffer with DID and make them feel wrong for not being a part of the club encourages this fake disorder behavior. Also, saying you cannot get diagnosed but still claiming to have a disorder is really wrong. If you had the disorder and it was apparent, you would be able to be diagnosed. Telling people they don't need to be diagnosed delegitimizes the people who go through tons of testing to get a diagnosis so that they can start treatment and function as normally as possible in society. Having a disorder and joking and talking about it on TikTok is not why you should be fighting for a label. In fact, I would argue that most people who just want to be better don't even associate the label with themselves because they know that the disorder they have is preventing them from being their most optimal and real selves, and they see their value beneath the illness. So yeah, be angry at the person spamming your page with hate comments, not because they're wrong, but because they're right and you feel guilty for undermining the fight to destigmatize mental illness. Stop doing this bullshit and go play in the park with your friends. If you still even have any after this, can you all tell I'm a bit triggered? I think we should wrap it up here before all my jokes disappear and you're left with me screaming profanity at the sky like an old boomer man. All I can say is yikes. It's astounding to me how hard people will try to be unique by acting the same as other people, especially when that involves pretending to adopt a severe mental illness that evolves from enduring extreme childhood trauma and abuse. When are people going to realize it isn't cute to be broken? This stuff shouldn't be normalized in the way it is. Yes, it's important to acknowledge the existence of these things and validate the people who have suffered in life and now have to live with a mental illness as a result of it all, but to make it seem cute and something necessary in order to have a personality is just disgusting. Hobbies are cute. Opinions are interesting. No one with actual mental or physical illnesses want to be loved for their illness because that implies that they're defined by them. People want to be loved despite having these illnesses that flaw them and to have their best qualities and traits shine through all of these less than perfect qualms that affect their everyday lives. Once kids can wrap their heads around that, I think this weird trend of trying to be fucked up will ease off and everyone will go back to shipping Twilight characters and writing Harry Potter fanfic that they can look back at and laugh at in the years to come because it's innocent and no one gets hurt from it. In the meantime, I'll continue to be annoyed and make videos telling you how annoyed I am, like any rational person would. If there's anything you find just as cringe as this, please just let me know down below, because I'll admit I like suffering a little bit in the name of content. Anyways, that's all for today. Hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all again soon. Peace out, Girl Scout. Thanks for watching.